Make sure to check out my Patreon for exclusive videos never before seen on YouTube. And don't forget to also check out the memberships on my channel page to join and gain access to perks and see videos early. Make sure to click the subscribe button and hit the bell and be notified of new videos. All the support goes to the production of the channel for better content. Now let's get into the video. What's going on, you guys? Major Dragon here. Before the video starts, very quick channel announcement. I posted a poll a few weeks ago on making new videos for you guys, different kinds, and I'm so proud to announce I will be doing limited edition and special content for memberships. So if you want to see videos on Dragon Ball content other than, of course, What If videos and behind the scenes videos that I will be posting of what it's like to make What If content and more, so you guys will get to see behind the scenes of making these videos, and way more discussions and news, come join the Major Dragon Forces and join the membership to gain access to special videos. Let's get to 20,000 subscribers, and I will talk to you all later. We last kicked off with after Trunks met with Goku, they had a little spar. Trunks would then give Goku the heart medicine and explain all about the androids to Goku. Now, most of the events would happen the same here, but considering the fact that Goku would train with Piccolo and Gohan here, Goku does know that Gohan does have a special potential within him. Now, Goku doesn't know if Gohan can turn into a Super Saiyan. Remember, Goku's never really seen a Super Saiyan other than Trunks. So he wonders if he can do the same thing, or maybe he's kind of there yet. He doesn't know. But now Goku would actually be focusing on himself a little bit more, as he's actually going to control the power that he already has. Now, Goku did see that when he fought Frieza, he turned into this primalistic state, but it boosted his power tenfold. Not to mention, too, it's not taxing and draining like how Kaioken is. So, Goku would then begin to meditate with the help of Piccolo, as Piccolo is the best guy with ki control and meditation to help him learn this power and to control it. Now, I do feel like with over the 3 years, Goku would be able to control for himself to turn into the Akari state. He would be able to control the raging power within him, and he can access the Akari state at his own will. He still has to keep watch of it though, because he can very quickly lose control, as rage has always been something that Goku's been struggling with ever since he was a baby. And he doesn't know why. No matter how much he meditates and trains to do better, it continues to get worse and worse. But most training would happen the same, just the fact that Goku's power is rising a lot more higher than the original. Now, as you guys already know, Broly's power rises because of the power that's in front of him. When Broly's backed into a corner, his power level skyrockets to new levels, and he has to overcome that power. It's the same thing for Goku. Now, the 3 years would pass, all the events would happen the exact same, all up until when the androids show up. As you guys know, this is Dr. Gero and Android 19. Now, these two androids are a lot more powerful than the original. Not by a massive margin, but they are a lot more powerful. The more powerful ones are definitely Android 17 and 18, which we'll see very shortly here. Now, Goku would begin his battle, and Goku would actually go into the Akari state, and he'll pretty much slap around Android 19. Now, the major issue here, though, is that Android 19 would begin draining his power, and Goku is also starting to succumb to the heart virus, like before. Now, Goku has learned to use his rage a little bit to help raise his power even more. Goku has been testing the water with this. It's kind of like a seesaw. He kind of has to perfectly balance it, because if he goes too deep in the water, he's going to drown into his rage and he'll be completely bazonk out of control. So, Goku knows that he's losing power. He has to finish Android 19 now. So, Goku would then give into his rage and fly in and rip Android 19's arms off and kind of bash him to the ground and shoot a full power attack which would kill him. Now, Goku here would then succumb to the heart virus as he would go base form, as that took the last sap of energy that he could, and Yamcha would then carry Goku back to Kami's house so Goku can get the heart medicine. Now, Piccolo would then begin his battle, very similar with Dr. Gero. Now, Piccolo here is actually a lot stronger. If you guys remember, he was sparring a way more powerful Goku and a more powerful Gohan for 3 years. A lot of people like to doubt Piccolo's amazing potential, but from Dragon Ball Super, Piccolo's always been able to keep up, especially in Dragon Ball Z. He's always been really consistent. But now, Piccolo here is insanely strong. He's a lot more powerful than the original. He's actually able to put up a pretty solid fight against Dr. Gero, But Piccolo was starting to get tired, as his stamina was running out, and the androids don't have to worry about that. All up until Vegeta would show up. And now Vegeta's been waiting for this. And y'all know it, Vegeta would then transform into a Super Saiyan. Now this version of Vegeta is actually a little bit stronger as well. Reasoning why is because he's pushing his limits a lot more, as there is bigger challenges ahead of him and he has to try and surpass Kakarot. It's not by a ungodly margin, but he is a little bit more powerful. He's very consistent with Piccolo right now in terms of power. Now, with the help of Vegeta, they were able to pretty much really injure Dr. Gero. But as you guys know, Dr. Gero, he is able to escape and they can't search him because of his ki. Once when this happens, Dr. Gero would escape and activate Android 17 and Android 18. They would pretty much kill Dr. Gero, tossing him to the side and ripping his head off. They would then go on a little fun spree, they would walk down the road, and this is when the fight happens. Now all the Z Fighters would be there, as Vegeta would then begin his fight with Android 18. Now this is where some stuff is a little bit worse. These two androids are vastly stronger than the original. And Android 18 kind of beats up Vegeta worse than she did in the original. Vegeta doesn't do much against her. She's far too powerful. Not to mention too, Android 16 is actually stronger as well. He's the strongest of the three still, but he is actually stronger too. Now, are we do go into the fact that Vegeta did have his arm broken? He was beat up way worse than the original. Now the Z Fighters, they cannot combat this. Even Trunks tries to attack, it would not do nothing to them. Now Trunks is actually surprised that it is true though, that the androids, and by the way, the canon timeline is not consistent in this what if. Goku was still the legendary Super Saiyan in Trunks' timeline, just to verify that up. I've actually seen some people comment about that. Goku and Trunks' this whole what if series, even the Trunks' timeline, is involved with Goku being the legendary Super Saiyan, just to clear that up. And just like the canon version as well, these versions of the androids are actually stronger than the one that Trunks fought, but they're not as evil and malicious as you guys already know that. Now, of course, the androids would then walk off, do whatever they want, start destroying stuff here and there, not really doing anything too crazy. Now, of course, as you guys know, a little bitty bug would then be traveling around. We all know who that is. That's Cell. Cell is still a creation. He's still there. We'll worry about Cell later. He's kind of off doing his own thing a little bit, absorbing some humans. But now, Goku would be battling the Heart Virus. A lot of the events would happen pretty much the exact same, all the way up until we would have Piccolo meeting up with Kami. All that would happen this, I mean, not too much is really going on. We would have Piccolo meet up with Kami, and of course, Kami would talk with Piccolo, and they would still do their fusion. Now, how powerful is this version of Piccolo? Well, I will comfortably tell you that Piccolo, before fusing with Kami, was almost as strong as his self after he fused with Kami, if you understand what I'm saying. And with fusing with Kami, he's almost twice that. So Piccolo is very powerful in this what if. Now, Piccolo would fly down and begin his fight with Android 17. And the two would be pretty much equal. But in this what if, Android 17 does have the slight edge above Piccolo, but Piccolo is able to kind of really close the gap on 101. Now, this is when bad happens. Cell would then show himself. Now, this first form version of Cell is terrifying. He is far more powerful than the original. Dr. Gero put more time and effort into Cell. This Cell is terrifying. He still does need to absorb the two androids to become perfect as the original, but he's far superior to his original self. Now, of course, he would then trick Android 17 into fighting. Piccolo was too tired, and Cell would kind of toss Piccolo aside. Android 17 would try to fight him, but Cell would then use the solar flare, and he would absorb Android 17. Thus, creating semi-perfect Cell. Now, this is a bit of an issue. Now, Android 18, Android 16 would, of course, fly away, as Tien kind of used his tri-beam to kind of hold down Cell for a little while, just to kind of get everybody away, and Piccolo was able to be carried off. Now, of course, Piccolo survived the attack. Now, once when this goes on, Vegeta and Trunks need to plan ahead. So, Vegeta and Trunks would then use the Hyperbolic Time Chamber, and of course begin to start training together, as you guys know. Now, during this time as well, Goku has gotten better from the Heart Fires. Pretty much all the events happen the same. With all the Z Fighters going in and training, all that would happen the same. Even the factor is that, yes, Vegeta does unlock his Super Vegeta, or you can say or you can call it Grade 2 or Ultra Vegeta, if you will. And he would meet up with Trunks. Now, this Vegeta is far stronger. Again, Trunks is stronger as well. Vegeta is training to also surpass Kakarot and surpass stronger androids. He is going to naturally be stronger. Now, in this What If, though, Vegeta would not have such an easy time beating up Semi-Perfect Cell. Vegeta would actually have a pretty tough battle with Cell. I will say that Vegeta is stronger than him, but not by much. Because, remember, this is a way more powerful Vegeta, but this is a way more powerful Cell. Now, especially when Vegeta whips out the Final Flash, it would actually almost kill Cell. And this would terrify Cell, as he doesn't know that Vegeta can do it again. Remember, because Vegeta used up a lot of his energy to use the Final Flash, but he doesn't know that, so he's kind of panicking a little bit. Now, as you all know, Vegeta makes the dumbest mistake in probably one of the dumbest mistakes in all of Dragon Ball. The Cell arc made no sense in terms of brains. They were kind of dumb, with Goku giving Cell a Senzu Bean, fighting Gohan, and also with Vegeta literally letting Cell absorb Android 18. Made no sense to me at all. Well, Vegeta would do the same thing. It's the same Vegeta, he's still cocky and arrogant. He would do the same exact thing, and Trunks would then try and stop it, but Vegeta would slap him aside, telling him, no, you're not stopping it. Now, Trunks would actually begin fighting Vegeta a little bit, just because Vegeta is more tired. Trunks can try and stop him. Sadly, it was too late. Cell absorbed Android 18, of course tossing aside Android 16. Not much he can do. And by God, we now have Perfect Cell in all of his green, buggy glory. Now, this version of Cell is terrifyingly stronger. But I mean stronger, he is far stronger than his original self. I can even throw a bone in there and say that he is far stronger than his super perfect form. He's stronger than Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. Cell in this form is even stronger than Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta and Goku. Cell, at this current point in time, is on the lower levels of the Majin Buu saga. He is not consistent with the likes of, Majin Buu or nothing like that. He is on the likes of Fat Buu. And this is just not his super perfect form. If he did that, he would be far than Super Saiyan 3. But that's for later on. Now, Cell was ecstatic that he was able to get his new perfect form. Fight with Vegeta would be absolutely embarrassing. Vegeta would get beaten kind of faster because he used up a lot of his energy. And Trunks would then go into his, Grade 3 Super Saiyan, the fake Broly form. Trunks is trying to copy Goku. We all know this. Trunks would kind of do okay against Cell. Of course, he does have the strength. But sadly, Cell's even stronger than that. He's holding back, as we all know. I mean, Cell only went full power against Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. He never went full power before that. So Cell would, quote-unquote, use his full strength. Of course, he didn't do it. And beat Trunks up the same way. And he would actually let him go, as the main one he wants to fight is Goku. Now, Cell has all the data from Goku. Now, Cell knows that Goku's power rises as he gets upset and his rage increases. Now, does Cell have the same thing? That's the terrifying part. And to kind of clear up you guys' question, Cell does. Of course, Cell does not have the legendary Super Saiyan form. He doesn't have that kind of power, but he does have the rage potential boost that Goku can get. But at the same time, Cell kind of contradicts that because Cell has more beings inside of his body, more DNA, so it's harder for Cell to lose himself completely in rage. Cell has a better mental capacity than Goku. When Goku gets angry, he loses complete control in a battle. If Cell got upset, his power will indeed rise, but you'll guys see later on in the story when Cell fights Goku what I'm talking about exactly. Now, most of the training would go the same, with the factor of that Goku would be recovered, and they would all go up to the Hyperbolic Time Chamber, and Cell would then offer to battle, and I believe about 11 days. So that's plenty of time. Now, Goku knows that his son Gohan and him, they could potentially take on Cell. But they would actually ask themselves, How powerful is Goku compared to him? Goku states, oh, I'm not strong enough to fight Cell at all. Cell would easily destroy me. Kind of shocking everybody, but Goku states, but that's why me and my son Gohan, we're going to go in there and we're going to get stronger. All of us. Now, of course, Piccolo would go in by himself. Vegeta and Trunks, they did already go in there. But let's just say, for fun, they went back in there, because why not? It's 11 days. Especially since Vegeta lost that badly. I want to give Vegeta something nice. Maybe he can go back in there again. Now, of course, we do have Goku and Gohan. Now, Gohan here is far stronger than the original. Not to mention, dear God, they are training together for a solid year in the hyperbolic time chamber with grueling battle, and Goku knows that he has to control this deep power that is within him even more. So Goku would push Gohan really hard. Now Gohan would actually learn how to turn Super Saiyan, and Gohan would actually start learning to master it, as I feel like Gohan is a genius on his own. Gohan would, and Goku would even tell him, well, I think what I would do in that form is to kind of learn it to where it's not a taxing on your body. So Gohan would take note of that, and he'll kind of discover Mastered Super Saiyan for himself, to where it's stronger and it doesn't have no ki drain. Now Goku would actually push Gohan a lot, which in return, Gohan's potential, which is almost as high as Goku because his is higher in general, back and forth is kind of insanity. Now, once when they walk out, Goku here was really proud of himself and mainly his son. Everybody was in awe at Gohan's power, even suppressed. Cell even sensed it a little bit. Now, Goku was suppressing his power a lot more. Gohan was comfortably sitting in Super Saiyan. And they were kind of surprised, as Goku explains that Gohan was able to master Super Saiyan perfectly. It has no stamina issue, no outrageous emotions, and Goku was able to completely master his Ikari state as well. Now, Goku has actually tried dabbling in the Super Saiyan route, but we will get to that very shortly. All the Z-Fighters would prepare, get the outfits on, and they would all go to the Cell Arena. As you all know, Hercule goes up first, because he is the champion. Now, none of the Z-Fighters are needed, because Hercule easily defeats Cell in their battle. The world is saved, and Hercule's obviously viewed as the hero. Cell has no chance against Hercule. Even though Cell is stronger, Hercule's power is limitless. Hercule can slap Zeno himself and defeat... Okay, I'm gonna stop now. Hercule was then slapped away one shot because Hercule wanted Goku and them to look good. We all know this is true, okay? He does this for everybody. Only real Dragon Ball fans know this, okay? Now, of course, Goku would go up first. As Goku would want to fight Cell head-on, the two would begin their battle. Now, Goku here was in the Ikari state, and him and Cell would actually be pretty even. Not to mention the fact that Goku's power kept on rising. But Goku knows that if Goku loses... Goku knows that he can probably beat Cell. He doesn't know how strong Cell is at his max. They're both still holding back, but he wants to see what his son Gohan can do. I know this is a stupid Goku moment, but guys, Goku would do the same thing. So Goku... I'm not going to say that Goku gives Cell a senzu bean. Cell can regenerate his energy just fine. Now, Gohan would actually begin his fight with Cell, as Goku knows that Gohan does have a hidden power within his son. Now, Gohan and Cell's fight would actually be pretty cool. Gohan is I would say Gohan is probably about nearly equal the power with Goku here, and it would be a really cool battle. Obviously, Gohan doesn't have the will to fight. It's the same battle as the original. You can just copy and paste it for just consistency. Now, all up until Cell, of course, puffs out all the other Cell Juniors, because he's a Mon now, and they would all start ganging up on Goku and them. Now, Goku, of course, he's not as exhausted, and he can actually battle the Cell Juniors, but they start ganging up on him. But now, cutting back to, of course, Gohan here, he's getting furious. His power was rising. Now, Cell was getting intrigued, as Cell would then, of course, kill Android 16. Because, of course, Hercule saved the whole world, and he threw Android 16's head, and Cell stomped on it, killing him. Gohan would snap, as he would then turn into a Super Saiyan 2. His power was astounding. Gohan in this version, I can comfortably say, is probably near the levels of Majin Buu. A Fat Buu, of course. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. He is around the level of Fat Buu, potentially even higher with the Rage boost on top of that. Now, Cell was really excited here. Cell would then showcase more of his full power, and him and Gohan would be squaring blows back and forth. Now, Cell here is actually stronger than Gohan, because of the fact that Cell is still holding back some power, and of course Gohan would get some really good hits on Cell. It'll be a really, really close battle, but Cell would begin to get angry, and he would then showcase his full power. His aura growing green, and his muscles bulging a little bit, Cell here's power would then skyrocket a little bit more, and he would begin to beat down on Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. Gohan here could not keep up with this version of Cell. He has too many abilities, and his power is continuing to rise, not at the rate of what we will see Goku doing. Now, Goku was too busy handling the Cell Juniors, he would turn, finishing one off just to see Cell almost, in Goku's eyes, killing Gohan. As he would then blind Gohan with a solar flare, he would then shoot a death beam right through his son's chest, as Gohan would then turn base form and fall. Now, of course, Gohan is alive, but it looks like he died. Goku would snap. He would be grabbing his head as his rage completely gave in. His whole eyes would then start glowing red as his pupils will disappear. His muscles will bulge massively as he was in his Akari state, and a massive beam of green energy would shoot in the air, as Cell would then turn in shock, as Goku would then rise out of this massive energy. Goku's hair was now pretty much yellow, and his eyes were gone, his pupils were gone. Goku has now become a Super Saiyan. Now, Goku would then waste no time screaming and roaring almost as he would fly towards Cell and begin to beat down on Cell. Now, Cell was astonished by this beast's power. He does explain that Goku's power level is astonishing, but he has no skill. So, Cell would actually be able to hang with Goku for a very short minute, but Goku's power level is continuing to rise. Now, Goku would actually shoot a mouth blast and blow Cell in half. Now, Cell would regenerate, but he's getting furious himself. His power level is rising as well. But sadly, Goku's potential mixing with a threat that's actually hurting him in the rage boost, Goku's unstoppable. Nothing can stop him. You would need to be leaps ahead of power to be able to stop him in time before he outgrows you. That's how Broly's power works. Because you can't beat him just straight up just punching blows and you're near equal power. He'll just outstep you over time. Now, Cell would then showcase his maximum power. And he would begin to fight Goku shooting a Kamehameha. Goku would block the attack barely and throw it in the air, and he would fly in, gut punching Cell. Now Goku would then charge a full power attack and blast it towards Cell. It's almost like a green Kamehameha. Cell would be obliterated, almost to his last cell. Now Goku would not be reverted to base form yet, as he would still kind of losing control as he's looking around at what to destroy. Goku would then kind of calm down a little bit, seeing his son. But now, as we all know, Goku would then start to shrink back down into his normal base form, as they think that it's over. They don't sense his energy, as he's just one cell. Get it? Quote? Okay. Now, Gohan was alright, but then a massive ki beam would then fly through as a gust of wind came up and Cell came back as Super Perfect Cell. Now, this version of Cell looked a little bit different. He still has the green, legendary Super Saiyan looking aura with electricity, but then throw in the fact that Cell's eyes, instead of his purplish eyes, they are now completely red. His whole eye, there's no white, it's all completely red, and his pupils are solid, glowing green. Now, Cell here explains that he's never been so... And now Cell's actually kind of losing his mind a little bit, as Cell kind of came back, but the power is kind of making him give into the rage. And his power level is kind of rising as he's losing control. He's bulking up, getting bigger. He's a lot like Goku right now, and Cell's losing himself in the rage. Vegeta would then snap and fly in to attack Cell. Now, this is when Cell would almost kill Vegeta by cutting off his arm with just a slash movement. Now, Vegeta would then fall to the floor. Man, Vegeta's arm is getting messed up today. Now, Vegeta would then fall to the floor, screaming in pain. Goku, looking at Cell, would give into the rage. Goku has no choice. Goku would give into the rage that he's already feeling, and he would go back into the Super Saiyan-like state and begin his battle with Cell. Now, the two would be clashing blows, shaking the entire solar system and more. But Goku here, he was starting to adapt. Cell's power was stuck. Now, Cell was reaching the limitation of his power, but Goku wasn't. Goku's power continued to rise exponentially. Goku would then bulge his muscles even more, and Goku's hair would turn green, and the rest of his G was torn off. Goku would then have turned into the official legendary Super Saiyan. Now Goku would then absolutely demolish Cell. Cell was running out of options. Now, as you guys know, Cell in the original was going to try and blow himself up, but it failed miserably as he came back. Now, would Cell do this? No, because Cell's mind is kind of not fully there. He's still kind of lost in the rage himself. He's more set up than Goku, but he's kind of not thinking right because he's rage-induced as well. Cell would then charge up a final Kamehameha, or his perfected Kamehameha, say goodbye to your solar system kind of Kamehameha. Goku would then kind of do the same, and Goku would then charge up a bluish-green Kamehameha. The two would have a massive beam clash, and Goku's power continued to rise. Cell's power was doing the same. As Cell was being pushed to his limit, the power was almost equal. Now Goku was starting to skid back a little bit, as it was the unstoppable force meaning the immovable object. It was like, you know, two triangles bouncing into each other. One was rising, one was rising. It was a never-ending battle. But now Goku would then realize that his son Gohan would appear next to him. Now Gohan was given a senzu bean and he was alright. As remember, Goku did not take one from the Cell Jr. So the last senzu bean was given to Gohan. Gohan would then burst to Super Saiyan 2 and use every ounce of power, and they would do a father and son Kamehameha together. And it would completely obliterate Cell off the face of the planet. Cell's dead. But now Goku would then revert to base form, absolutely exhausted. Both him and his son would fall over, smiling as they had defeated Cell together. The Z-Fighters were all happy, as of course, all of the Z-Fighters were healed up and taken back. Now, this is where a lot of things change. Goku's not dead, so he would never go to the other world. Well, could he potentially go to the other world? He can if he wants to, and I think he would. Goku would go to the other world because King Kai would kind of flaunt about, oh, Goku, I would need, you know, because Goku trains on his planet. But here's the other issue, though, is that Goku would kind of need Kami to go back on King Kai's planet. But the problem is Kami kind of got absorbed by Piccolo. So how's Goku going to be able to get to King Kai's planet? Well, Goku kind of thinks to himself, he's like, man, well, what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to pull some what-if fun logic, and I'm going to state that King Kai has, which I don't understand why all Kais, if Supreme Kai can do it and the other Kais can do it, why can't King Kai do it? I mean, even Kami can teleport. It would be cool if King Kai would tell Goku, well, I can actually teleport down there and come get you, or teleport you here. But I can't do it very often, I can only do it sometimes. That would make sense. It's not like a Kai. He can just sometimes do it with his powers, which would be really cool if Kais can do that, by the way. And King Kai couldn't do it because you could just say for what a purpose is that he was dead, so the dead can't go down, but since King Kai's not actually dead, he can. Now, of course, Goku would then go back and forth with King Kai for a couple of years. Vegeta would get a brand new arm from Bulma, as it is very futuristic looking. It's still like a metal arm, and it acts and moves just like a normal hand, and he can shoot Ki Blast out of it, and more that you guys will see later on. But Vegeta does this as a good reminder. This is a very good reminder to Vegeta that he needs to continue training and getting stronger. Not to mention, he wants to surpass Kakarot, and he's going to have to find even more powers of a Super Saiyan to even match up with him. Now, other than that, Gohan would actually train with Goku here and there, as Goku doesn't want Gohan getting rusty, and Chi-Chi would understand that a little bit, as long as Gohan keeps his studies, which he does. So Gohan actually never gets rusty, like the original. He would actually keep his power consistent, potentially actually getting stronger, which would make sense, considering his potential's higher and he's sparring with his father. He's not just doing light training every, so often. Now anyway, that is it for this video, you guys. Thank y'all for watching. Stay tuned for the Majin Buu saga. I hope you guys enjoyed the Cell saga. I wanted to dive into it and make Cell a really, really scary opponent. And Majin Buu is going to be terrifying as well. You guys will see. Anyway, thank you all so much for the support. I really appreciate it. Let's get to 20,000 subscribers, and I will talk to you all later.